Alrighty, well today I can't really do a whole lot, so I'm just tinkering. I was hoping to be able to get back to working ground this afternoon, but unless the temperature warms up drastically, I don't think we're going to dry out quick enough. And I had a video made yesterday, but I was working down in the barn and it was all fuzzy, so I didn't even bother putting it up, so I didn't really want to listen to everybody talk about that again, so I don't know what the heck's up with these damn glasses. I think I'm going to wait till get done planting and I don't really need them anymore and see if I can't get them sent in and looked at. I wouldn't mind trying to find a different pair that's a different brand and try them out, but the thing is I don't want to spend the money and have them turn out to be even worse than these things, which these things work just fine when you're out here in the sun, but you go inside and I guarantee you as I'm walking in and out of the shop here, it'll probably get a little fuzzy and then I come back out here and it'll be just fine. So, but like I say, I don't want to get a new brand or get a new pair that's a different brand and have them be worse, and then I just wasted a bunch of money. So it's one of them deals where I want to stick with what I know, but what I know isn't really working, so I don't really know how to go about replacing it with something different, because you can read all the reviews you want online, it doesn't mean shit, because what somebody else thinks is good, I probably won't think it's good. So anyway, enough of that. Today the only problem I've ever had with this field cultivator, I love this thing. It finishes good, pulls easy. Well, I mean, I run it almost 6 inches in the ground, so it doesn't necessarily pull easy. It pulls pretty, you know it's back there when you're pulling it. But it's just a good little compact field cultivator. The only issue I've ever had with it is it plugs on these two shanks. And I don't know how I never noticed it before in the 6 years or whatever it is that I've owned this thing, but I was watching what it was doing the other day when I was running it, and these two things are only like 13 inches apart, where all the rest of them are 20 or so. So I pulled out my handy dandy operator's manual here, and they got a diagram in here that shows you what the shovel layout's supposed to be. And oh, I thought this was kind of nuts. While we're in here, they offered this mounted, mind you, in a 24-foot hydraulic fold. Now, this is only a 15-foot the way it's set up right now, and it's one heavy sumbitch. I can't imagine. I wouldn't want to put that thing on anything smaller than a 2255, just because, not that you need horsepower, but the weight. I'd be scared of shearing the 3-point arms off, because I'll bet that thing's easily, it's got to be pushing 2 ton. It's kind of nuts. It'd be cool to find one, but anyway. So I come back here to the shovel layout, and I'm pretty sure, because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 5, 26, 27. So I got 27 shank. So it's this one right here. And you come back here and look, and mine is actually only, this is the add-on bar to make it 15 feet 9 inches, which is the full width before you get into a folding one. So this bar right here, this frame rail is this frame rail, and then this one right here is a bolt on. It bolts here, and there's another 4 bolt holes up there. And I've actually got this back one right here is another bolt on, and I've got that one, and it was originally, I think it was on that front set of holes. Yeah, I had another one that bolted right here that made it 15 feet something or other. And the problem with it was because it was clear out here, I think, and the harrow didn't cover it, so it ridged real bad, so I took them off. But I got to looking, and I went up and measured this thing this morning when I was thinking about what I wanted to get done today. Ain't none of these across the back right, and I never did measure across the front. Or wait a minute. Yeah, I got that right. This is the front, this is the back, and ain't none of them across the back are right, so they got them. Well, I measured, there's not a single one that's even the same dimension. They're all screwed up somehow, and I never did measure across the front to see where it was. So I think today I'm going to go through and take all of these things loose and get it arranged the way it's supposed to be. And then I also think I'm going to take the harrow and move it back into the farthest hole to get it so when it's operating it's further back, and that'll increase the trash clearance too. But I get these things apart or out where they're supposed to be, which the way it's looking, you know, they're showing these things 6.5 and 6.5 and 13, so that they are showing them 13 inches apart. But that don't work worth a damn. What are we showing across? Hang on. So we want 19 1/4. That's 20 1/2. And then they want 20 between the next two. And they've only got that at 19. So, yeah. And then what do they got? Because they want 20 between these two. And that's 21 1/2. Okay, so I think I've come up with a plan here. Because not only on this diagram do they show you the shank spacing, but they also, this main bracket is unidirectional. It can be mounted on the front of the beam or the back of the beam. And they also show that placement on here. And on these two center shanks where they're close to each other, they show one being forward of the beam and one being behind the beam. I assume being staggered like that improves the trash flow through the cultivator. So I'm thinking what I might do over the whole thing is go through and redo them all and go forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, and get the spacing adjusted right. And I bet that would probably help quite a bit. It certainly can't hurt nothing to try it. because I plan on either this summer or next spring when I'm going through working on stuff. I want to tear all this. I want to tear this thing apart, go through on all the U-bolts, put all new lock washers, and replace all these pivot bolts for the shank because they're worn pretty bad. So it's going to come back apart again anyway. So this will be a good time to try it. So I think I might do that because I already got this one flipped. So I think that's the plan. So I had it where back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. Yeah, so back, forward, back. Oh wait. Back, forward, back, forward, back. So yeah, I want to change this one, that one, and the end one. Yeah. And whoever put this, or whoever did this, was thinking, because they put lynch pins on all these springs. So as long as they're not freaking froze, like this one's just appearing to be, they come apart pretty easy. If I find any that are bad, I think I bought some spare ones for this thing when I first bought it. I think we still got them somewhere. But on the upside, the temperature's warming up faster than what I thought it was going to, and there's a very nice breeze blowing. So as long as the sun stays out, and I do think it is supposed to get warmer today than what it is right now, I still don't doubt I'll be working any ground this afternoon. Although I may still go over and look at it just to see where we're at. But if it keeps this up, definitely tomorrow after work be able to hit it. And I plan on getting some corn in the ground tomorrow. May probably come right home, jump on a tractor, go over and get her. I got one more 5-acre field, and it kind of worked out shitty the way it happened, because all my fields that my short corn was going on, my 102 day, were the dry ones, and the ones where my 110 and 108 day were going were the wet ones. So that last round of planting, I wasn't able to get my long season corn in, but I was able to get my shorter season corn in, and I've got one more field. I got 3 more cornfields left to do, and naturally the one that the short season corn is going on is probably going to be the driest one first again. But it's not like I could have swapped out and put my long season corn on the dry fields, because my longer season corn is the workhorse corn that's going on the shit ground. So it was kind of an unavoidable situation, but as long as I get planted yet this week, which if the forecast holds, will not be an unattainable goal. So I should be able to plant tomorrow afternoon, or get started on planting tomorrow afternoon. And if I can get started planting tomorrow afternoon, while I'm doing that, I can send Dad out with the field cultivator to get one of the 2 other cornfields cultivated. The other one, I got a disc before I run over with the cultivator. It's that one that I just chiseled earlier this spring. That's not going to work down for shit if I don't disc it first. But I can have him get the 13-acre field cultivated, and while I'm planning. And should just be able to keep every day hop on a new field. Alrighty, I got all the shovels readjusted. I think I ended up having all but 2 of them busted loose and moved. 2 or 3 of them. And I got the front gang and the center gang set exactly the way the book says. And there was a couple of them in there that were off by almost 2 inches. Most of them were off by at least a ½ inch, which doesn't sound like much until you stretch it over the entire width of the toolbar. By the time you get out to the ends, next thing you know, you're off by ½ a foot. And then on the back gang, on the front 2 gangs, I started from the center like the book said and moved my way out. On the back gang, I started from the outside, worked my way in, and knocked a ½ inch off the dimension between every one of them. And when it was all said and done, that gained me 6 inches in between these 2. So it went from 13 to 19. And now the 2 outers are 19.5, and then all of them in the center are 19 inches apart from that one to that one. So hopefully that makes a difference. It's either going to be better or it's going to be worse. There's only 2 ways it can go. And then I also went through and got them all staggered, so front, back, front, back, front, back now, instead of all in a row. Hopefully that'll improve the trash flow. The only ones I couldn't do were the 2 in the center, because these 2 on either end are so close to the wheels, I didn't want to move them back any further. So I just went forward, and then back, but those 2 are an extra 6 or 8 inches apart from the rest of them, so it's not going to make a difference. Physically, standing back and looking at it, that new spacing looks a lot better from the back. So I guess we'll see what happens. But next step, hey guys, I drive a Cummins. It's an automatic. Why anybody would buy a Dodge with an automatic in it, especially with a Cummins, beyond me. But anyway, the next step is going to be, I gotta get this buster bar straightened out, because the other day when Cody was running it, he's not used to 3-point equipment and the tail whip they got, and he kind of smoked a telephone pole and tweaked it a little bit. Dad and I had a good laugh out of that. So get this straightened out and then move these into the furthest out hole. And I'm trying to remember if I can get the hooks out of these, because when I first got it, I had problems with the hooks on the springs coming undone, so I took a torch and bent them in all the way. And I'm trying to remember if I can get, oh, well, that one I can. That one, good deal. I was wondering if I was going to have to get the torch back out. Probably go ahead and get new bolts put in them chains too, because they're supposed to be tight, not all whoppered like that. Guess it's about time we making some new pins for this thing. Them's a little whooped. But that can probably wait till I start going through this thing completely. Eventually, I'd like to take this and the chisel plow both and get them painted, or the 3-point chisel plow both, and get them painted. But paint is expensive, and until I have a place to park them inside so the paint won't turn to shit within a year, they're probably just going to stay rusty. There was a lot of guys talking about how good the T was going to look when I got it painted, and not to burst your bubble, but it's probably not going to get painted, at least not anytime in the near future, because when I do it, I'm going to do it right. It's going to get good automotive paint on it, and it's going to get clear coated so the paint don't fade, and if it gets scratched, it's easy to buff it back out. So the paint job is going to be expensive to begin with, and 2, it's a work tractor, so I'm not really concerned with how good it looks, which in my opinion, it looks just fine the way it is. Things, aside from the fenders, the tin's straight as an arrow on it. There's a couple things I gotta fix on the hood. Up in the front corners, there's a, and I haven't seen an Oliver yet that didn't have it. This corner's busted out right here where this rod goes through. My 19's that way, the 1600's that way. The 1800 actually might not be broke out there. I don't recall on that one. But anyway, it's a work tractor. I'm more concerned with how good it runs, not how good it looks. I'd rather leave them all original in their work clothes like that anyway. Because, and it's getting real obvious when you go to tractor shows, you can throw a $6,000 paint job on a tractor. That doesn't make it any more special. And I've seen some guys paint tractors that should have never had a paint. I mean, give them a really light wet sanding, or maybe take an SOS pad to them to knock the rust off, oil it down, and leave it. I've seen a lot of guys paint tractors that they just should have never even touched them. This one is right there on the verge. But anyway, back to the original moral of the story. You go to shows anymore and you see, I mean, you can only see so many 66s and 77s and 88s and Farmall M's and John Deere A's and all that with nice fancy paint jobs on them before you get bored. And anymore, you go to shows, it's not the nice shiny ones that are drawing the crowd. It's the ones that have survived for 50, 60 years. and still look as good as that one does. I mean, it's faded. I think I'm gonna put, when I get to finally get a set of fenders for it, I'm gonna take that same stuff Dad used on the 1800 and wax the green, or at least wax the tin on it. And I think it'd look pretty sharp once I did that. I think that'll bring that tin right back. But like a perfect example was down there at Rand Tool in the Oliver section. Had like 6 rows of nice, shiny, painted up, basically trailer queens. Throw a $6,000 paint job on a tractor, what the hell can you do with it? Because you just threw a $6,000 paint job on a tractor. But there was an old 1800, I think it was an 1800A. It's in my video of walking around the tractor display down there. An 1800A with a 8-row Oliver mounted cultivator on it. All original. I mean, straight. Thing was, in my opinion, perfect just the way it was. And he, yeah, there, you could tell there was footprints around all the nice shiny ones, and people have been looking at them. But you got to that 1800, and there was a damn dirt track wore around it from guys doing laps around the thing. So, in my opinion, I prefer the original ones. I like to leave them just, at least when they look like this, I like to leave them just the way they are. For now, anyway. The only thing I might paint on that is I'll probably at least do the wheels. And the only reason I'm going to do that is because when he had new tires put on the back of it, he repainted the back wheels and he painted them bone white. And I hate it when guys do that. That is about the ugliest thing. It looks pretty darn good. So that's where this thing's at. The biggest thing is going to be finding fenders that have paint that match that, at least in the way it's faded. Once I do that, I'm golden. And if I get the right paint to do the wheels, get it not too, get some good clover white paint, but get it mixed where it's not too glossy. And I have seen guys because that's the biggest thing I know is you'll see a lot of guys leave the green original but repaint the white because it gets that rust bleed through it. And there's a lot of guys that get that clover white paint, and I don't know how they do it, but it looks a little aged, and it almost blends right in. So, if anything, that's what I'd like to do to this one. And shoot, the only reason my 1955 is painted is because that's the way we bought it. Otherwise that would have never been painted. And from working on it and stuff, and the spots they missed, that tractor looked like it was pretty pretty nice and original, about like this one, before they went and screwed it up with a paint job. So that may have sounded like a little bit of a rant, which it kind of was, but there's just some things that should not be screwed with. Car guys are the ones I really like to pick on. Because I've seen, I don't know if anybody, can't even remember what channel it was on, but Gas Monkey Garage, it was a TV show. I think it still is a TV show, but I just don't watch it anymore because it frustrated the hell out of me. But they'd bring cars on there, perfect, beautiful southern, rust-free, all original, low mileage cars from the 40s, 50s, 60s, very desirable in that kind of condition cars. I mean, beautiful paint, might be a little faded, but it's something that a good coat of wax and a few hours with a buffer would shine right up. And they'd take it and chop it and throw a ugly ass paint job on it and pull the motor or yank the motor out and put some like LS engine or something, damn it, some modern engine in it, and it just, in my opinion, ruins it. But the one that really ticked me off that they did was and it's the last episode I watched because that one made me so angry I just couldn't do it anymore. It was I can't remember what year it was, but it was a Chevy Nomad station wagon. Completely original right down to the wheels. Two-tone red, white. There's Chevy's Victory Red, basically the same color as my pickup. And then that kind of pearl white they had. All original interior, wasn't a tear in it. I mean, the kind of car you see for sale and you just sit there drooling over it. Like, how the hell did this thing survive this long looking like this? First thing they did, pulled the motor, pulled the transmission, lowered the suspension, slapped some ugly ass lime green and white paint job on it, custom rims. Just ruined the poor thing. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there going, why? If you're going to do stuff like that, get some beat to hell, rusted out, something that's almost beyond saving, and do that to it. Don't do it to a survivor. Now I'm really ranting here. Because it's getting to the point more and more where we need to be able to remember what this country used to be capable of. And ruining a piece of history ain't helping none. But I guess I'll shut up on that subject and get this finished up and come back to you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, well, this job's done. Got the harrows moved back, got springs reset, everything's tight. Now the only thing left to do is stick it in the ground and see if anything made a difference. And whether or not that difference is good or bad. So, I'm going to run that on the tee here for the next couple days, or at least for the next day. And because I know how well my 1955 pulls that thing the way I got it set. So to kind of compare them, I want to see how well that thing pulls it the way I got it set. And that'll be a fairly good indicator of where they're sitting horsepower wise. The ultimate plan is to get it on a dyno at some point this summer, but for now we'll do it the guesstimation way. So, but I guess that does it for this one. I'm gonna probably go over and check a field and see where it's sitting. I know I can't do anything with it right now, but maybe by 5, 6 o'clock be able to head over there. This breeze is doing quite a bit of good as far as pulling the moisture out of the ground, so we'll just have to see what happens. Anyway, I guess that does it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.